Hi guys, welcome. I'm excited today to share with you some tips, some ideas, some things to help you when eating out. Because I actually this week have eaten out 4 times. This is really a lot of amount of time for me. So I thought, well, what a better way to share some things that I do, some things that have helped a lot of other people when eating out, just becoming a little bit healthier, making some healthier choices, and maybe not some healthy choices along the way. So first of all, eating out is not easy and it's not cheap. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is, first of all, just take inventory. Take inventory of what you're doing now. Are you eating out 5 times a week? Are you eating out 2 times a week? Are you eating out every day for breakfast? Do you work a full-time job and you eat out every day for lunch? Take inventory on how many times you're eating out and where those places are that you're eating out. And then we can kind of move on from there. But if you don't really know, you're not really willing to change anything, maybe decrease less time, then you probably want to just kind of fast forward through this. And it's not going to be real helpful for you, because you got to want to change. You got to want to learn to move forward with this quick video. So we're going to be really quick and really short, but I would love to know some of your favorite places that you eat out, because I'm going to actually have some tips and some pointers below, and maybe some menu items that might be helpful for you. So make sure you guys do that at the end. Where are some places you love to eat out, what you get, maybe a not so healthy choice, and then maybe a healthier choice. I would love to know what your choices are. So that's the first thing, take inventory. The next thing I want to just kind of tell you is eating out can cause some issues. It hurts your pocketbook, number one. It's expensive to eat out. It is much cheaper to eat home. It's a little more work to eat at home, right? So you're not served. You don't just have to say, hey, waiter, I want this. Or you actually have to typically make your food at home. But the calorie levels are extremely high when you eat out. And also the portions are way more than what we absolutely need. So a lot of times we have this portion distortion in our head when we eat out. We need to eat everything that's on our plate and what's served to us. We don't want to go anything to waste. We're paying money for this food. We don't want it to go to waste. So I'm going to give you some ideas on that. Typically, they are loaded with sodium. Sodium is one of those things that really can hurt our heart over time. And so we want to kind of limit the amount of foods that have sodium in that. So eating out is one of those things that we can start to eliminate or lower the amount. And also the temptation. You know, when you're sitting there and then the dessert tray comes out, or you say, oh, that looks good over at the next table, or oh gosh, they have a margarita, maybe I'll have one of those. It just puts that temptation into you, making you more vulnerable to make some unhealthy choices. So with that said, let's get moving on. I'm going to give you some ideas, some things that have helped along the way. First of all, you have to plan before you go. So this is something that, like for me, I had Starbucks for breakfast. I was going there this morning, and then I'm going to lunch with some friends. So for me, I knew I was going to be gone twice today, 2 different places, so I had to plan. So the first thing is I ate breakfast at home, because when I went to Starbucks, I was going to get a lower calorie drink. I was not going to eat there, because I knew the sandwiches and maybe the bakery foods that was there was not going to be the healthiest option for me. And I knew I wanted to eat lunch at a Mexican restaurant. So, you know, I had to kind of plan what I was going to do. So I grabbed something healthy at home for breakfast, had my little drink. I got the small. I didn't get the big grande or whatever those words. I got the small one. So choosing smaller portions or smaller options when you go out to eat. And then, you know, I try to eat something before I go. So before I go to a big meal, I almost get my appetizer at home. First of all, those appetizers I took, and I'm going to post it below. I took a picture of the menu where I was at last night. Yes, I was out again last night for my job. But it was nothing but fried foods, high calorie, horrible. So if you can skip the appetizers most of the time, you're going to do better, because really the appetizer is practically a meal, but it's only setting you up for increasing your calories and your carbohydrates at your meal. So try to skip the appetizer. Also, the breads and the chips and the things that come out, you may want to forego the basket of rolls. Or you may want to just keep the chips over on the other side of the table for you. Pick out your 12, whatever it is, and limit yourself to a serving if you can. Or limit yourself to a half of a roll or 1 roll if you know your meal is going to be a lower carb meal. If you know you're going to get the rice with the tortilla, then we definitely want to stay away from the chips. So just kind of balancing those things out. We are going to actually do a lot more about carb counting later on in the next couple series. So you're going to better understand that. But the main thing is, when the free foods come out at the beginning, sit them to the side, wait for your meal to come to see what kind of carb and options that you have before you start grabbing for the 2 rolls and you've had all the carbs you need in one meal. So, because let me tell you, we've done that before. Or you let your kids eat 2 rolls before their meal comes and then they don't eat their meal. And you're like, well, why aren't you eating? Because you just fed them a whole meal in 2 rolls. Or they just ate a whole basket of chips and salsa before their meal even came. So, really being aware of that. Restaurants love to feed us, and that's their job, and they want to make us happy. So, okay, so pre-planning, what you're going to do, where you're going. Some people I personally suggest is get on the website. We have so many tools for you to get on the website. Look at the menu choices before you go. Know what you're going to get before you go. So like for me today, I'm going to a Mexican restaurant, and in my head, I'm like, I'm going to get the small chicken fajitas. It's going to be loaded with sodium, and I know that. So the rest of the day, I'm going to have lower sodium foods because I know my lunch is going to be higher sodium. I'm also going to go in knowing that I'm going to get a water. Because anytime you get a soft drink, a regular soft drink, even a diet, it's just not good for you. A regular soft drink typically will be a meal for you. So not only did you get a soft drink or sweet tea or whatever it was in the drink that you got, or margarita or whatever it was, you've practically had your meal in one drink. That is not including all the other carbs and calories that was in the meal that you're getting ready to eat. So you could typically in one meal have all the calories at a sit-down restaurant that you need all day long or more. So just really keep that in perspective because this is huge. Now, going out to eat. We talked about it. It's fun. It's nice. It's, it feels good. And you're around people. You're kind of around some peer pressure. They're getting stuff. They're, oh, try this, try that. You have to stand your ground. This is your decision. You are the one that puts the food in your mouth. You are the one that makes the order. You're also the one that makes the order typically for your children. So don't just let them pick whatever they want. You are the leader of your family, and you can help them choose some healthier options. So making those choices now for you and your family. If your kids see you eating healthier, eating half of your plate instead of eating the whole entire dish, taking half of it home, they're going to be like, well, I don't have to. I can take this home and eat it later. And that's typically what I suggest as well. So for lunch, if you get a big portion, save it for later, save it for tomorrow. Most people I tell my clients is if you go out to dinner, you ask for the to-go container before the food even comes. It's sitting there, so when your plate comes out, half of it goes right into the to-go container, and it's there for you. So I love that tip, and it works really, really good. I have some other ideas as well that we're going to help you here too, but you got to know how many calories and carbs are in your food. And what I love is a lot of new restaurants, and well, not new restaurants, but all restaurants almost have the calories on them. So it at least gives you an idea. So if you know your weight, you added a 0 behind it. That's about how many calories you need in a day just to survive. Remember, this is very general. So if you exercise a lot or you're very sedentary, that number is going to change. And we can do that individually for you to kind of help you where you should be on that. But, look at the label. Look at what's in your food. You can actually ask the waitress for their nutritional value. So you can get that if it's not on the menu. Also, some menus have some hearts by them. They also have, some of them have little apples. Those are healthier options for you and for your children. So looking for those. Trying to do those more often than choosing the unhealthy. I'm not saying don't go get your chimichanga or don't go get your pasta alfredo every once in a while, but eat half of it, eat less of it, take the rest home. Get it every once in a while, 80-20, maybe 70-30, 70 healthier options, 30, maybe some not so healthy options, but less often. So definitely enjoy those foods that you have, but just eat less of them if you can. Really stay away from buffets. I am really not a big fan of buffets. First of all, you pay a certain amount and you feel like you've got to eat everything out there because you paid for it, right? And it's there. It's all for the taking. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's eat it all. So it tempts you to go get more and more and more. If you do have to go to a buffet, if you do, Pick a meat and a ton of veggies because that's about all you really, really need. There's going to be carbs in your veggies. Maybe you get one sweet treat, maybe a half of something, share it, whatever it might be. Also with sharing, let's think about maybe you could save some money and share a meal with your spouse, with your child. I do that all the time. I'm like, hey, you want to share the fajitas with me, Kylie? Or you want to share this with me? And they do that. That way I don't have to take half of it home. They're going to eat it. It's just what they need. It's just what I need. And so sharing meals are great. Another thing is to eat slower. Let's enjoy the food. You know, eating a nice meal you don't have to prepare. It's very joyful. So eating slower will also tell the brain that your belly is full. After about 15 minutes, that first bite that you hit, after about 15 minutes, your brain will start to feel like, oh, there's food in my belly. I'm not quite full yet. So sometimes you continue to eat. So the slower you eat, the less you will eat. This is not just eating out, but this is any time of the day. Just eating a little bit slower and let the belly catch up. Once that joy is over and you're just kind of eating to eat and talk, push the plate away, put it in your box. Don't feel like you have to eat everything. There was one thing Oprah I learned from. She said, once the joy of that meal is over and you're not enjoying it at all, don't put it in your mouth. It's there for later if you want it, or just get rid of it. Either you're going to waste it on you or you're going to waste it in the trash. What is it going to be? I'd rather put it in the trash or, maybe for later than actually putting that inside me when I don't even want it or need it. So, okay, I think this is good. I think we are on our way to making some big changes. So I have a few more things, a few more tips, and I think might be helpful for you. And then we're going to kind of move on to the next series for next week. So you can always ask for foods your way. So you can talk to the waiter, the chefs will make things your way. So you can always change things up, have less sodium, make them things plain, don't put the sauce on, those kind of things. Don't grab for foods that are pasta-y and saucy all the time. We want to kind of stay away from fried foods if we can, as much as we can. Every once in a while, you got to have it, right? But just try not to make that a staple of when you do eat out. The other times, trying to choose those healthier, lean proteins and lots of vegetables. Lots of vegetables will help you fill your belly up, get the nutrients that your body needs. You can still have a great time and make a difference in your body and your health. You're just going to feel better when you leave, rather than wanting to go take a nap, rather than feeling like crud and then feeling bad that you ate all that stuff. And it's that cycle that we go in. And, you feel really, really good and then you feel really, really bad. Really, really good. It's those highs and lows that will just make you struggle with weight loss, struggle with making healthy changes. So making those small, subtle changes over time will make a difference while eating out, while eating at home, wherever it might be. So I think that's about it. I think we're going to wrap up today. I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, go ahead and share that with a friend that maybe likes to eat out a lot, or a family member that's been telling you that we need to eat out or we don't need to eat out or what should we do? Whatever it might be, just share this with a friend and I hope it makes a difference on you. And let me know what your tips are. What do you do when you eat out? What are some of those things that you have started to make a change with? Because we love to learn from you as well. So thanks for hopping on and taking a quick peek at this. Let's happy eating. I'm heading to Mexican right now. So I'll let you know how that goes. All right, bye.